Hello, good morning. Thank you for coming to our first ever dataPARC virtual user conference. My name's Jason Myers and I'm the dataPARC Business Director. Well, we had hoped to have this conference in person as we normally do. We really enjoy getting together with you and spending a few days talking about your challenges and what we have planned in the future. Obviously, 2020 has thrown a wrinkle in that, but we've put together a good program here. We hope you enjoy it, and we're very, very grateful that you've taken the time out of your busy schedules to participate in this. So 2020 is going to definitely go down in the history books. We're facing challenges and loss worldwide, and all 7.8 billion people on this planet have been impacted, some obviously much more than others. But we're going to come out of this stronger with some different perspectives. Things that we once took for granted will now be greatly appreciated. So I just wanted to wish all of you and your families a very happy and healthy finish to 2020. Very optimistic about 2021 and going forward. As us Northwesterners know, it rains a lot here. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. So I wanted to start off and take you through a little bit of history about Capstone and dataPARC, but even go back a little further, back to where this really all started. So Capstone was founded in December of 1997 by a group of chemical engineers. We had a small office above the hardware store in downtown Camas, Washington, just up the road from the paper mill. The culture of Capstone was immediate. And it really predates the formation of the company. And it starts with Ron Baldus. Ron is really the heart and soul of Capstone. He's hardworking, passionate, brilliant, humble, and so generous. Ron always goes above and beyond the call of duty for his employees, for his family, and for his customers. And that culture just resonates with all the people within our company, all the employees. We're all disciples of that vision and that core value. Ron often said, it isn't a job, it's our livelihood and passion, something we believe in to our core. This is part of why we have so little turnover in Capstone and dataPARC. We all believe, we're all rowing the boat in the same direction, and it's just built into our core values. I started shortly after the first implementation of dataPARC, which was at the St. Francisville mill down in Louisiana. I immediately became passionate about the product and the people that I worked with. I have tremendous pride for being part of this evolution over the last 20 years, and I know I share this with so many employees within our organization. So St. Francisville was our first implementation. It was in June of 1999. They had an old system called MOLE, which was actually, Ron had developed that system too. But it was not Y2K compliant, so they had to do something. And they had such strong belief and trust in Ron and the organization that they took a flyer and went forward with dataPARC. And they continue to run today and continue to be a dataPARC customer. Now our success wasn't immediate. It took about 6 years for us to get from 1 site to 20 sites, as you can see on the timeline. But that's when things started to accelerate, things started to take off. Over the next 5.5 years, we went from 20 sites to 100 sites. And then over the next 6 years, we went from 100 sites to 300 sites. So things really started to take off. At this point in time is really when BTG acquired Capstone. BTG was traditionally a hardware company. They have instruments, blades, and rods. And what they wanted to do was complement their offering with the software and services that Capstone had. And this has proven very successful. BTG has incorporated our products into solutions and grown their business. This has been so successful that their competitors started to take notice. So when Spectrus decided to focus their business and focus their portfolio, BTG had many suitors, and ultimately Voith prevailed. And this is a great thing for us. We're back to being a private company. Voith wants to invest in our business. They want to leave us autonomous to continue to focus on what we do best. So over this entire timeline, dataPARC has been an autonomous organization, whether it be part of Capstone, part of BTG and Spectrus, or part of Voith, and that will continue going forward. So while Capstone was founded in 1997, the roots go back much further. I have an excerpt of a video that I'm going to show you here in a couple minutes. It's from 1984, and it's showcasing the first developed data collection system that Ron developed. It's called the JR9000, and it began development in 1980. It was built on this great software development platform called Rocky Mountain Basic. Probably no one has heard of that one, except for maybe Ron. The first implementation of the JR9000 was at the Camas Mill in 1982. And it was very, very successful. So much to the point that they expanded it into the St. Francisville Mill in 1984 in the first ever 4-monitor system. And this system continued to run all the way until 2003. Now, having access to this data became a newfound item for the company. They felt it gave them some competitive advantage. And as PCs became more common, this idea of process data systems for the masses was really embraced. So Ron set out with his group. He had a group, they called them, they worked in the mole hole. It was an office up in Camas. And Ron began development of this next generation, a PC-based JR9000. And this system, again, was called MOLE. It stood for Mill Online Economics. So this was rolled out, piloted first at the Wana Mill in 1989, and it was extremely successful. It was very embraced by the mill, and they wanted it. So it was so successful that the company decided to roll it out into all the other James River mills. So what this is really saying is this thing has been going on for a long time, 1980. So 40 years ago is when this really started. So I'm going to play a little video. I really enjoy it. It says a lot of the same things that we talk about in our current sales presentations. The value is really there. So just take a look at this video. It's certainly not high def. It's from 1984.
It was 1980. A small group of chemical engineers in Camas, Washington were having difficulty in gathering process data. Buried under stacks of old strip charts and operators' logs, quantitative data detailing pulp, paper, and physical plant processes was difficult and at times impossible to retrieve. To make their job easier, the engineers combined a Fluke data logger and an HP 9000 computer with their own in-house computer programs.
Over a period of several years, we just kept adding to and expanding the program and using a lot of operator input. I think that has really made it into a useful tool for operators because the ideas came from them.
This interaction between a group of engineers and mill personnel has resulted in a system that we feel gives James River a competitive edge in the process of manufacturing paper. We call it the JR9000. Typical configurations include a data acquisition computer, a Hewlett-Packard 9000 Series 200 computer with floppy and hard disks, and a printer. The system also includes an operator keyboard to simplify common tasks. The system is capable of displaying separate information on up to 5 monitors. This allows individual operators and engineers to format data to suit their individual needs. Many control rooms use the 9000 for logging, as well as the notation of set points and other operating guidelines. Troubleshooting, data analysis, identification of opportunities for process improvements. For the process engineer, the JR9000 is a tool that aids in understanding the system.
What is particularly interesting is that the system was developed and paid for on a project-by-project basis. James River is not a software development company, and the intent is to make our mills run better, and this just happens to be a useful tool to do that.
We now have a tool that helps us to see our process more clearly. A tool that can actually improve our company's efficiency and increase our product's quality. Designed and built for James River Mills, it's the JR9000.
I enjoy watching that video. It really, a lot of the themes that are talked about and the benefits that are talked about in the video are pervasive today. So while technology has evolved, obviously, over the last 40 years, the vision and the idea behind the system is very consistent. And I jotted down some notes that kind of resonated with things that we talk about today. The ideas came from operators, so the features that were developed for the JR9000, they came from the operators, and that holds true for dataPARC. We embrace people's ideas, we work with the end users, we are the end users. So our slogan has always been built by the end user for the end user. So I think that is very consistent. Operators didn't want them to take away the system, and as said in the video, the projects, the system was paid for with specific projects, and then they'd take it and put it in other areas of the mill. And the operators didn't want them to take it away. They began to need that data and that information. They felt it was an advantage to them and helped them. And we hear that today when we've got Park View screens out in the control room. Operators are using that on a minute-by-minute basis, and if a server goes down or network issue, if they lose their Park View, boy, they're on the phone immediately because they get so used to having that information and rely on it so heavily that they feel like they're running the process blind when it's not there. Some other takeaways, you're able to watch the entire process versus just a small area that you'd be able to see on a DCS screen. Operators, one of the operators in the video mentioned he uses the trends 80% of the time instead of the DCS. And so we hear that today, that the operators use the trends, use Park View largely most of the time, and just use the DCS for changing set points. New operators can gain a better understanding of the process by studying recent history and understanding process dynamics and process interactions over time. For the engineers and management, we always talk about we've got to make that data easy to access so that you can spend your time using the data to drive decision-making versus gathering that information, and that was mentioned in the video. Troubleshooting, data analysis, really it's about driving process improvement through these tools. Understanding stability in your process, and then overlaying differences when things are running well versus poorly. These are all things that are done with dataPARC and that were mentioned in this video. So whether it's JR9000 or MOL or dataPARC, really the idea behind these systems and the value of these systems is to help production facilities improve their efficiency, increase their throughput, and make a better quality product. Obviously, it can come in different degrees, and dataPARC does a lot more and can harness a lot more benefits from a system like that versus a system from 40 years ago, but the concepts and the vision is really the same. I wanted to discuss the current state of Capstone, just a snapshot in time, and then we'll go into the future. So currently we just surpassed 800 sites that are using dataPARC now in 25 countries. 1999, we had one site, we're up to 800 sites now. We've gone from 5 employees in 97 to now having 58 full-time employees. We have an extensive partner network that allows us to reach more customers and support more customers. We've replaced over 100 Pi sites around the world and layered off on top of over 100 more Pi sites. While we started in pulp and paper, We branched out from there quite quickly. Really, any plant with a process is a candidate for dataPARC. If you have time series data, you're a candidate for dataPARC. So we have a very diverse industry base. About 3 years ago, we had began the journey of adopting the agile development process. And this continues, it's a work in progress. It will improve the quality and predictability of our software releases. And then about a year ago, we began the journey of adopting lean methodology. This is going to prove critical going forward for us. It helps us drive our priorities and processes within our organization. We're here right now, we want to get here, and it gives you a roadmap for getting there. And it helps us hold us accountable for getting there on schedule. So this will give our customers an even better company to work with. So the future, what are our plans? So we're going to invest heavily in our core products and drive the quality and predictability of our releases. So this starts with development. We're going to invest in our development group. Developers who are cranking out all the new features and capabilities within the core product. We're also going to invest in our QA department, improving the quality and releasing less bugs to the user community. As part of the Agile process, we have product owners. The product owners are responsible for defining new features and functionality and then prioritizing those features. Which release are these new features are going to land in, which ones are most important. So that's part of the product owner role within the Agile development process. And then we're going to work on investing in our training and our video content library and our knowledge base. This will enable our customers to take advantage of more capabilities within the system. A lot of people are using dataPARC fully. There's a lot of people that are using pieces and parts of it. And what we want to do is help people understand what you can do with the product, how to do it, and provide a video library to help them get there. This will allow you to get additional value from dataPARC. So we're going to invest in our systems and processes. Again, we're embracing lean. It gives us the roadmap and to get from where we are now to where we want to be. One of the outcomes of this lean process is we recognize we need to invest in our CRM. Our CRM is really intertwined within our organization. It's what we use for managing support cases and case management, project management, our time tracking, our billing. So it's a very critical part of our business, and we want to improve that, and we want to expose that to our customers so that customers can track their cases on demand and track their projects on demand. As part of this, we are going to work on integrating our CRM with our TFS system. So TFS is what we use to track all of our development initiatives. So any feature or bug that's reported lands in our TFS system. So right now our customers may report a bug or a feature request, and it kind of goes into a vacuum or a black hole, and they're not sure where it sits. But if we can integrate that with our CRM, now the customers can track that. They can see where it is, if it's being developed, when it's expected to be completed, and which release it's expected to be in. Again, we're going to invest in our video library and training library. This is part of our community forum platform, so we're going to continue to leverage that and invest in that. So ultimately, what we're trying to do is provide transparency and visibility for our customers so they can get the information, not just high-level information, but the details of how they're using their support, how they're any cases that they've submitted, any feature requests, their support hours balance, all those things can be transparent and visible by our customers on demand. So people, we don't have a factory. Our people are our factory, and people are our differentiator. We need to hire and retain the best and the brightest. So we've got a very strong culture, one that's extremely positive and built on core values. But you can't stop there. We've got to continually improve our culture and adapt. We're going to empower our people. We always have given our people a lot of responsibility. They can wear many hats, and we want to continue to empower our people and give them the resources they need to be successful. And as part of that, we need to empower our customers with tools and supporting materials so that you can leverage the most value and gain the most value out of dataPARC. And lastly, we need to provide opportunities. We're part of a much bigger organization now. We are our own autonomous division, but there's opportunities out there. So we're going to provide opportunities for advancement. Potentially, we're growing, so new roles are coming into the dataPARC organization, give people an opportunity to take on new roles, education, and training. Sales marketing, last but not least, I've spent many years in this role and continue to participate in that to some capacity. But really what it comes down to is, hey, we've got a great product and people love our product. But if no one knows about it, what value are we really providing in the marketplace? So we're going to invest in our marketing and our sales, in lead generation and having a sticky website, great content and collateral. We need people. We need people, boots in the field, on the ground to uncover opportunities. And we need to find the right partners, good partners that are going to help our customers, help their customers, and allow us to have access to other markets that we can't reach. So who is our best salesperson? Is it Kevin? Is it Alex? Our best salespeople are our customers. You use the product on a day-to-day basis. You understand the intrinsic value that it brings your facilities and your people. And we really appreciate all you've done to advertise that for us and to spread the word and be dataPARC evangelists. We would not be here without that and without you. And we truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.